Hey, good morning. It's Barry with Growing Roots Farm. I've got our mobile chicken wagon back behind me. This has been part of part of a series. I did a series on the builds of this project. I didn't do every single step by step. This is how you build it, but I did kind of take you all along on how this process came about. But let me show you. We did settle on a name. My wife likes the name Little Red Hen House. So that's what we're going with, Little Red Hen House. But let me show you what all we got on this, some of the features, and there are still some things I'm probably going to modify here and there. But you know, that can all be done in time. Let me show you. So we used aluminum roofing. We wanted to cut down on the weight, so we did not use steel. I got aluminum roofing with a gutter system. Right now the gutter system isn't hooked up, and the reason being we don't have any rain in the forecast, and we just missed all the heavy rains. I guess it rained last night, but we just missed all the really heavy rains, and we need to fill these barrels up before I put the I got to fill these barrels up. These here just fit. I cut out a hole right here. This fits down in perfectly, and then it all just kind of flows down in. You can see the chickens have also been getting on top there at night when they roost. One thing that's new on this project, we've got automatic waters. I think these are sheep waters from Premier. I know they're from Premier One, but I think they're the sheep water. Now, we have ducks, and the ducks dirty the water way more than chickens do. But that's part of why we went with this system. Let me show you. We can just flush it out, okay, for the most part. I can do it differently too. And we can flush it out. It starts filling, okay. It starts filling right away, and it's got a little float valve in there. It's going here. These are 55-gallon drums. So 55-gallon. So we have 110 gallons of water when it's all completely filled. And other than long droughts in the summer, as long as we have this thing parked right, then we'll get some gravity feed water into there. But I did notice that the wagon is pointed the wrong direction right now for that to happen, but we're not collecting water from it at this point anyway. But back to the water, we went with these kind of trough systems, okay? I'll get this cleaned out later. We'll have to clean this stuff out probably every day when we come up here to get eggs. The ducks, see the lovely ducks over there, they really dirty this water up in a hurry, way more so than chickens do. We had thought about putting on, I initially thought I would put on just the little, I would drop this down a little bit lower and put a ledge where they could get up here and put multiple chicken nipples on here to be able to get their water directly from that. But where we run some ducks in with our chickens, I didn't like that because they really like to get their whole head under the water at times. So we ended up going with more of the trough system, which they will dirty, and we'll just have to flip. But it's still a whole lot easier than us hauling water out here. The other thing, we noticed the chickens at night have been roosting outside here, okay? Now, I'll show you one of these here. Let me get this one. So this just lifts up. They haven't laid any eggs yet. Our chickens, I don't know what time your alls lay eggs, but ours don't do it more till like mid-morning, late morning, early afternoon. They don't lay them right away in the morning. But we used AstroTurf, okay? We can collect the eggs here. Got to drop down. Say, hey, chicken. If we got to get the chickens out, let's say there's a broody one in here, or maybe the egg didn't roll down, we can get them from here and pull them down. Although I think we collected around 2 dozen eggs last night, and I think only one didn't roll down. But we're on kind of a flat spot right now. The other thing with this, got this this rope, okay, I can close off the nesting boxes. Let me see if I can do this all one-handed. And at night, what I do if I want to keep that nesting box closed, I just take my rope, latch it around there, okay, and then my nesting box is closed. The purpose of that is so that the chickens don't get in the habit of going in there and laying in the nesting boxes at night, and making the nesting boxes even dirtier than they already make them. Because if you don't block them off, they will use them, and you'll get a lot of chicken manure in it. We got a ramp with some slats in it that they can jump up and get to. Technically, they don't even have to have that. They can just jump straight up in here. You see? Look at this. We got one in there right now. Let's see if I can zoom. She's like, I like my privacy, please. She's not going to get it right now. I did think about putting some little, like some old t-shirts that we have, and ripping them up and putting them in front of the boxes just to give them a little more privacy. Chickens do like having, do like that privacy aspect. And I may do that. Oh, and this one here broke. This little perch. I got to fix that here in just a little bit. That perch broke. I had some trouble. I had ran out of some of my screws when I was doing this part of the job, and I wasn't using the best screws for that application. I added some roost up there. I'm getting a lot of glare from the sun there. I just crisscrossed them. We don't intend to go in here very often. If we're walking in here, it's not really something that we're intending to do. I'll get up here occasionally, but we just crisscrossed a bunch of roost. I'm probably going to add some more to all this as well. But the other spot that they've been roosting is down here. You see that? They're perching on the wagon chassis itself, which for us, we don't mind, because this door, okay, it opens and it just hinges right there and closes up. But we are not planning on closing this. The only time we'll close this up is to transport or move the wagon. But when we move the wagon, the chickens are outside. We use electric netting fencing, so I'm not as worried about predators. Like when I built this, I wasn't building this, I wasn't making this thing a tank for predators, because honestly, I'm not too worried about it. We haven't had much of a predator issue. Well, I'll take it back. We had some foxes get into them last year, but we haven't had a predator issue in a while. So I'm not too concerned about it. I'll make changes to it if needed, but for right now, this is working. But this system, I just used little pulleys up here, okay, to be able to do the perches, to be able to put them up. I think these are 12 foot long, okay. So this is all 12 foot long. It's not a really large wagon, smaller wagon chassis, but for what we're doing, this works perfect. It also gives them a fair amount of shade, and they have plenty of height underneath the wagon, so they get a little bit more of a breeze. So during the day, they can get underneath here, or we don't get a whole lot of them in this area, but if they get an aerial predator, a hawk or something that comes in, they can all get underneath here and be just fine. But that's kind of, that's some of the features here. Yeah, that's some of the features on this wagon. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Because I wasn't worried about making this thing tank bulletproof, I just used chicken wire, top and bottom. I wanted to keep as much airflow as possible. One, I think it's healthier for the chickens anyway. 2, it's lighter, and 3, when the wind blows, I'm hoping that the wind blows through it more than trying to knock it on its side. Because up here on the hill, as I'll spin you around, we are on the highest part of our property right now. We get all the wind up here. So that's part of the reasons, part of the rationale for the way I built it. But anyway, that's it. If you've been following along for any of this process, for this chicken build of the Little Red Hen House, you know it's taken me a little bit of time to get done. Honestly, man hours, it wasn't excessive. It just took a lot of days because it was working on it 30 minutes here, 45 minutes there. It's hard to get a big project like that done with that type of schedule. So it took me a little bit of time, but we got it finished. Like I said, there's still some little modifications we plan on making, but already the eggs are coming out much cleaner. We're able to get them out of the rolling ends, and it works well. I think as our chicken flock grows, because we just keep incubating more and more chickens. We just keep adding to it right now. But as it grows, this is going to handle it just fine. And I think it's a great addition for our property and for our chickens. So thank you all for watching. If you got any questions, leave them down in the comments. I love getting some comments on this. But see you all next time. Thanks.